Hello and welcome to another edition of Great Britons, and do hope you're going to enjoy today's program. Today we're going to be talking about Dame Anne McLaren. So if you do enjoy today's content, please do click the like button. It does make a big difference to us here on the channel. It is entirely free, unlike many things today. But I promise you it is entirely free. Makes a big difference to us here insofar as improves the algorithms and all the other IT paraphernalia which surrounds it. So thank you for that. It will help us to grow the channel and to bring you some more great content. So sit back and enjoy today's content, if you would, talking about the wonderful Dame Anne McLaren, born in 1927 and sadly passed away in 2007. But obviously she lived a long and successful life, had a great career, and was much revered by everyone who met her and worked with her, and left a wonderful legacy to humankind. And so let's dig in and look at her story. She was born into a wealthy family. Her father was an MP. They've got a couple of lovely homes, one of which was in London. I think the other was in North Wales. She was born into a privileged situation, but worked extremely hard nonetheless. Okay, she was fortunate, some would say, and some doors were open for her. She went to private school, and then later on went to Oxford University. During her career, she went to lots and lots of different establishments. I think she was always looking to find work that would stimulate her and help her to, further her ambitions in terms of the things that she wanted to do. And although many of the sort of establishments were kind of slightly different, I think that the core thing that ran through everything she did was her real enjoyment of studying animal genetics. It's something she knew a great deal about and always looked for work that would further that ambition, if you like. One of the things that really interested her was IVF. And obviously, back in those days, we're talking about the kind of mid to late 1950s into the early 60s. She was working on testing with mice on the basis of would it be possible to have some kind of IVF system. One thing she wanted to prove, which she did successfully, and wrote many papers on the subject and won the admiration of her peers. And that was it possible to join sperm and eggs outside of the mother's body and still generate a healthy embryo? And that doesn't sound like a 5-minute job, does it? She would have spent many, many years on that, I'm sure, researching that and doing all sorts of tests on it. But she did actually prove it, and that was written up in many of her authoritative works that she did. There's no doubt about it when you kind of look into what she did and when she did it, that her work had a direct impact upon IVF treatment for humans. Although that came many, many years later, maybe kind of at least 25 years later. In 1975, she was elected Fellow of the Royal Society, and that is just a huge accolade, and it must be the ambition of anyone working in a research or technical field. It really must. And all credit to her. I mean, those things aren't given out easily. So if you're invited to become a Fellow of the Royal Society, where she must have earned that one. During her lifetime, her working career, she published over 300 scientific papers. Wow. I mean, mind-boggling amount. And like I said, won her the respect of of all who worked with her and her various wider colleagues, etc. Terrific achievement, 300 scientific papers. Wow, wonderful stuff. As I said, there was a massive gap in between the research on animals and this moving to a position where the medical profession were able legally, that is, to perform surgery on humans in the area of IVF. So, you're probably looking, I don't know, 25 to 30 years maybe. I think when you consider all of the legal and political and moral issues that we all had to think about, it's no wonder it took so long to hammer this into some kind of legislation, which would then need to go through the House of Commons for several readings, and then move on to the House of Lords, and finally be passed through to Her Majesty the Queen for elevation into an Act of Parliament. So yeah, eventually, in 1990, this was embodied in the Act of Parliament, which was the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Act. And this then allowed, as I said, practicing professionals to take things one stage further and perform surgery on humans. So, in summary, what can I say? This lady had an absolutely massive impact, and certainly on those individuals who are trying to start a family or add to their family. And, it was just a wonderful, wonderful legacy to leave to humankind. So a big up for Dame Anne McLaren. What an incredible legacy to leave us all. Yeah, a terrific life, and so glad to be able to include her on our wonderful session on Great Britons, because she was certainly one of them, without question. I hope you've enjoyed today's content. Please do click the like button if you have, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Okay, so from me, it's bye for now, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.